Hello lovelies, it's MORKSENSEI. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm offering you top tips for taking your English language skills to the next level. This is not the first time you have heard much of this information if you've been watching my videos, but they are definitely worth repeating, so let's dive in. If you're going to school to learn English, don't waste your time. I'm not saying don't go to school. Lessons are indeed helpful. What I am saying is to take advantage of the time there. Make sure you are using English and not your own language as much as possible. Speak English in and out of class for as much of the day as possible. Spend time with people who have the same goals. Avoid people who insist on speaking another language with you, or your native language. Yes, you might have to choose your friends based on this if you're serious. You and your peers of the same mother tongue should imagine that none of you actually speak your native language. Answer in English when your peers speak to you in a different language. A big regret of many students studying English at university is not having spoken more with their classmates. Don't be like them. Accept that learning English takes time. You'll need about 500 hours of deliberate practice to get a working ability. When you use deliberate practice, you focus and push yourself, you reflect and get feedback as soon as possible, and then you make changes based on feedback. A typical bi-weekly English language course might meet twice a week for 90 minutes. That's only 45 hours in one semester, or 4 months, and you're not often actively practicing. You need at least 10 times that amount in deliberate practice to become a good, basic level non-native speaker. And if you want to communicate at a higher level, of course, you need many more hours. Up to 95% of your English language learning might be occurring outside the classroom. Especially if your goal is to improve your speaking, you need to find opportunities to practice outside of class time. Don't cram, by the way. A small amount of time every day is better than all day on Saturday. Find other learning resources because textbooks will not be enough. You have tons to choose from. You have podcasts and YouTube videos, movies and TV, websites and blogs, downloadable books, worksheets, files, apps and games, online chat buddies, community groups, courses outside of your school, magazines, books, newspapers. Check my blog, morksensei.com, where I try to find recommendations for you. Learn to tolerate ambiguity. Ambiguity is a situation that is vague or you don't fully understand. When you're learning another language, you want to know so much right away, but that just isn't possible. You can't understand everything at once, so you have to learn to become comfortable even when you don't know what is going on. Ambiguity when you learn a new language or travel to a new culture is expected and very normal. Trust that with practice, things will start to make sense. Be patient. Embrace mistakes. You can learn a lot from them. We learn a lot from trial and error when speaking English as learners. You're going to say a lot of stupid things. Accept it. Don't feel the need to learn everything at once. Correct yourself when you notice your mistake. Ask your peers and teachers to correct you if you want them to. But you have to tell them because otherwise they may not. Ask questions whenever you have them. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. No questions, no answers. Set SMART goals. SMART stands for specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-based. The best language learning goals are ones which can supply answers to these questions. What do you want to be able to do specifically? How will you know when you have reached your goal? Is it in your power to be able to reach your goal? Is your goal realistic? By when exactly do you want to be able to achieve it? I made a short video about SMART goals some time ago, so check it out if you want to learn more. I'll post it here and down below. Create habits and avoid burnout. It's impossible to be highly motivated all the time. So create regular study and practice habits for those times when your motivation is low so that you can reach your goals. Studying and practicing should become like brushing your teeth, something you do without thinking too much about. Try to add one English language study habit at a time. For example, you could write for 10 minutes every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Some believe it takes about 21 days to create a new habit. Try it and find out. Just don't try to create too many new habits at once, or you'll increase the chances of failure. You could lose motivation and risk stopping altogether, which is not helpful. Read, ideally every day. Reading widens your vocabulary base. Reading improves your grammar competence. Reading increases your knowledge. Reading translates into better oral skills, eventually. Reading is enjoyable, if you choose topics that interest you. Reading is relatively easy to do on your own. Books, newspapers, magazines, journals, plus anything you can find on the internet. Go abroad to somewhere where English is spoken. And this doesn't necessarily need to be a place where native English speakers are the majority. It can be somewhere where English is spoken as a lingua franca. Anywhere where you have to communicate using English is a great environment to be in as an English language learner. Go someplace where your native language is not spoken. Study or work or play, your choice. Spend as long a time as you can afford. Save money beforehand. Find other non-native speakers. They can often make better teachers than native speakers and might share a lot with you. Fall in love with a local English-speaking woman or man. Romance is an enjoyable situation for language learning. Join similar interest communities abroad via apps like meetup.com. Have fun! The more enjoyable something is, the more likely you are going to want to continue doing it. So find ways to make it more enjoyable if it currently is not. If you take your learning too seriously, you might be getting in your own way. So relax and enjoy it. Try to gamify your learning through a variety of apps or software or classroom activities. Talk to your English language teacher for advice. And there you have it. Here's a summary. Okay, my friends, I hope those tips made sense to you. You don't have to use all of them, but keep a few of them in mind for your future study and practice, and let me know how it goes in the comments. See you in my next video. MORKSENSEI, signing out. Mwah.